let me turn to Nadwa Al Dawsari. She's a leading expert on Yemen and conflict resolution. Nadwa, explain to us why achieving a lasting ceasefire has been so difficult in Yemen.
The problem in the current conflict in Yemen is that we don't have enough military balance on the ground for the parties that are represented in the peace talks to make compromises. The Houthis control they have the upper hand on the ground. They control the capital city and 6 of the governorates. Taiz, the entire south, Ma'rib, Saada, which is most of Yemen, are controlled by different armed groups. The Hadi government on the other side has no presence on the ground, and if it does, it's very symbolic, which makes its position at the negotiation table very weak. Neither the Houthis nor Hadi are actually interested in ending the conflict. They're more interested in negotiating power. For Houthis to compromise, it means that they give up some of the tremendous gains that they've made over the past year. And I mean, by gains, I mean military gains. For Hadi, it means that he will probably be out of power. And by these, I mean Hadi and the Houthis are in the peace talks negotiating power, not an end to Yemen conflict.
And in the meantime, civilians are the ones who are dying here. What is life like for them under constant attacks, under constant bombings? And the latest we have, some 16 members of one family alone were killed in an airstrike in northern Yemen.
Life has become tremendously hard for Yemenis, and death and destruction is not the worst of it, although it's pretty hard and awful. The worst part is that millions of Yemenis are displaced. Millions of them are going hungry, starving. Millions of Yemenis are without access to healthcare, without access to basic needs like water and electricity. Most schools have been destroyed or closed because of security reasons. A lot of young people are frustrated because there is no place for them to go. They cannot go to schools because the schools are closed. So life has become really hard on Yemenis.
What is Saudi Arabia's endgame here? It's been a year and a half since the Saudi-led coalition began its airstrikes. What is it trying to achieve?
I think the Saudis have miscalculated the Yemen war. They thought that they could easily, with sophisticated weapons and air campaign, that they could easily defeat the Houthis. They were surprised. One, they were surprised that there was the Houthis were fierce fighters. They've managed to keep the upper hand on the ground. And the other part also, the Saudis, the Hadi's government did not come back to the country and establish presence and reinstate in the country and establish security, which left the Saudis with basically no allies inside the country, no reliable allies inside the country. I think the Saudis want an end to this conflict, but they don't know how. And I think the increase in airstrikes and the increase of fighting in different fronts are just tactics with no strategic objective.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Nadwa Al Dawsari, a terrible war that is getting very little attention in the media. So we're certainly glad that you joined us so we could talk about this today. Thank you.